What do we need?
You're back. Tell me, Tahar. Was it really necessary? Giving Myra to that man?
It was for the greater good. She said it herself.
She's not herself. And you know that as well as I do. Let's just hope... well, it will be fine. It has to. Be that as it may, both House Wulfgar and House Hallett are now on our side. I didn't think that would be possible. This alliance greatly increases our chances against the Purity. Anyway, no point in delaying the inevitable any further. We should discuss the upcoming battle in the span. Are you ready?
I am.
Good. Then let's call your companions. Thank you for coming. I take it you know the purpose of this meeting. Our final battle is up ahead. We will take back Greyfell, kill Lakain, and save, well, Tahar's mother. You all know what's at stake. If we lose this battle, then there's no one left to stop Lakain. So, first of all, thanks to Ulrich Wulfgar and his betrayal, Lakain knows we're coming. Aranor?
Yes, Lakain has gathered his army in the span. That's where the final battle will happen.
The Golden Road.
Yes. As you all know, almost every trade route of Northander leads through there. It's very easy for him to make a stand. The Queen's River draws a clear line between the Greykeep side and where we'll be coming in from.
So, what's your strategy?
I'm afraid there's only one. Brute force. We'll have to crush through his defenses like a warhammer through an armor. That's where House Wulfgar and House Hallett will come in. They will block off the routes where they could send in reinforcements. Without them, this fight would be a lot harder. Once we've defeated their army, we'll advance to Greykeep. Questions?
Yes. How big is their army?
Massive. We already scouted the area. There's Bane, there's Deathmen, there's Templars, and Iron Ones.
In other words, Lakain knows that we're a threat and gathered his entire force to stop us. Good. Because that will be our chance to take out the entire Purity with one blow.
As I said, we cut off the snake's head.
Then prepare. Lakain won't show mercy, and neither will we. So I want every blade sharp. This is the only chance we're getting.
Well said, Tahar. Now get prepared. We'll head out at first light.
Yes?
Please, Myra. You need to talk to me.
To us.
I don't see why.
You need to understand this is necessary. It's for the greater good. You've had the most comfortable life of all of us so far, and now it's time to fulfill your duty to this country, too.
Aranor, please, not now.
I'm sorry, Angar. I don't know what you expect me to say. The marriage was my decision, yet you act as if I had been forced.
Yes, I'm sorry. Well then, best you get your armor looked at before we head out.
Yes, brother.
This is just wrong. So wrong.
Still no change in her condition?
No, none. I still can't believe that dwarf considered keeping the rune. That kind of magic should not be allowed to exist. Either way, is there anything that needs discussing before we set out?
Yes.
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Would you be willing to tell me more about your friend?
You seem to be quite adamant about this, aren't you? Fine, if you insist. What do you want to know?
How close were you and her exactly?
That's hard to say. We had sex in all those 5 years. She never left my side. So some people might have considered us lovers, but I'm not sure we ever felt that way towards each other. You see, I don't feel emotions the same way other people do. And neither did Mila. The feelings the bards all sing about, I never had them. And I doubt I am capable of feeling them at all. This bond we had it because we were alike. Because she understood me and I understood her. Without saying a word. And I doubt I will ever have that feeling again.
When you say you were alike, what does that mean? That she also hardly felt emotions?
Yes. But whereas for me, it had been becoming a dreamweaver that had made me who I am, Mila had simply been born that way. There was no logical reason for her condition. It was just what fate or the gods had given her.
I understand.
Maybe you do.
What was she like?
That's a difficult question to answer. Compared to me, I would describe her as more cheerful, more talkative. She enjoyed the company of other people far more than I did. Of course, that conviviality was mostly a charade. Her interest in other people was genuine, but it was mainly because she wanted to study them. It was almost as if, until the very end, she believed that she could somehow overcome her nature. Of course, it didn't work.
Was she an assassin as well?
She was, yes.
How did it happen? The blood burn.
Well, I presume you are familiar with how the disease progresses, so there's no need to explain that part. As for when and where, we were with a small caravan near Everlight, on our way back to Greyfell. We had made camp in a small forest when the symptoms first showed. An old man, one of the caravan leaders, started coughing blood. I think everybody saw, but they all acted as if they hadn't. From that point on, it went straight downhill. Almost 3/4 of the group were infected. And by the next day, a young boy had blood running from his eyes. Do you know what's strange?
What?
Up until that point, I didn't even consider the fact that Mila was infected as well. The thought just didn't ever cross my mind.
How did you find out?
A blister. On the 3rd morning after that night in the forest, she took a bath in a nearby river and I saw it. That was it. I knew what would happen. And so did she. I insisted on riding back to Everlight and looking for a healer. An irrational thing to do, and I knew it. But I figured that a chance was better than none. But she wouldn't have it. I want to tell life when it's over, not the other way around. That's what she had always told me. And that night, it turned out she meant it.
She took her own life.
Yes. When I returned to the camp that night, I found a letter where she told me to meet her at a nearby clearing. I did, and found her laying on the grass, hands crossed behind her head, as if she was watching the moon. There was an empty bottle next to her, and I immediately recognized it. It was the merciful slumber, the most painless of poisons at our disposal. When you drink it, it's almost like falling asleep, very slowly. She was smiling when she faded away. How should I feel? It was her decision, and it was the most rational choice to make. Dying of the blood burn is incredibly painful, and she avoided that pain. Her last memories were ones of peace.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to ask?
Goodbye.